So I'm watching the Penn State Iowa game. So this must have ended. This was in the afternoon on Saturday. So I'm watching that game, and Iowa rushes the field after beating. So they were number 4 and Penn State was 3. Is that right? They were 4 and 3. So they're
either that or the reverse, but they were, one was 4 and one was 3.
Yeah, Henry confirmed. I forget who was 3 and 4, but either way, it doesn't matter that much. But the fact that Iowa rushed the field when they won a game at home, a game that they absolutely should win and can win and need to win and all that, it wasn't a crazy upset. It rubs me the wrong way when I watch it. However, if I am a student in that stadium, I am absolutely rushing the field because there's nothing like it. It's a big moment. It's an important game. And when I was at App State and rushed the field, I only rushed the field one time for a playoff game and then 2 times when we won the championship. Never during the regular season, I don't think. So there are those moments that you can never get back. You could say like, oh, we'll do it. We'll save this opportunity when we do have a big upset. But you may never get that chance again. So that's your one chance as a student. You only go to school for 4 years, ideally. And so that you absolutely do it. But from the optics of it, rushing the field is questionable to me. And then same with you with Texas A&M. It was a huge win. But just last week, you're a ranked team. And so you want to be considered in the same conversation as Alabama. You want to be respected as Alabama. You don't want to be viewed as some run-of-the-mill, lower-class team that doesn't expect to beat Alabama. So to me, that's what rushing the field kind of represents. Just somebody tuning in, watching it, and going, oh, look at the cute little team, and all their fans are so excited for this big win.
Interesting.
They didn't expect it to happen, which is absolutely true. But I'm breaking it down in a lot of different ways here. So again, if I'm in the crowd, I absolutely do it. But I also think I'm justified to question and criticize the fans that want to be considered, upper echelon. And if you're Iowa, you absolutely expect to beat Penn State. Come on.
Yeah. I think I really like this take because you have to acknowledge both sides. I agree with you. As a fan, you just want to be on the field.
Yeah, come on. You don't have to justify anything.
You want to be on the field. That's the only time you'll ever be on the same field as some of the best athletes in the world. Any excuse to get on the field, you're going to take it. Now, whether you're the first person to start it, that's another question. But if people are running on the field, absolutely. I don't care what just happened. I'm running on the field or the court. But you are right with the optics of fans storming the court, rushing the field is a team just won who has no business ever being on the same field as the team they just beat. It's a miracle. It'll probably never happen again, or it's going to take a long time. And there's like the dichotomy between the teams is the separation's huge. And a miracle win. And that's the optics of storming the field. So it's hard because watching the A&M Bama game, I know I had plenty of friends at the game, and they rushed the field. And would I have rushed the field? 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Especially going into the game, it was so lopsided of expectations.
Yep.
But now, the days after, we just rushed the field, but the whole last 2 years and the expectation for the future is A&M wants to be a premier program to compete with the Bamas of the world.
Correct.
But yet we're rushing the field as in like we shouldn't belong with them and we don't belong with them. So it's hard. It's almost like it can be embarrassing. Didn't UNC storm the court against Duke? Like years ago, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it was UNC Duke,
like that. Yeah,
but if you're a premier team, your fans should not storm the court because that's not reserved for you.
Unless you win the whole thing. Like once you finally win the whole thing, you absolutely rush the streets or rush.
But like a regular season or a conference game, if you're a premier program,
conference game. Oh, it's tough.
But Bama fans will never rush the field. They should never rush the field.
Ever.
No matter who they beat. outside of a championship game, of course, but conference game, I don't care who you beat. As a Bama fan, you should never rush the field.
Even Alabama, I feel like they barely celebrate a championship because it's like, all right, we're on to the next one. Like, we got this is what we were supposed to do. We're on to the next one. It's tough. It's tough being Bama.
It's hard because as a fan, you want to have a moment to rush the field because you want the feeling of pulling off a miracle. You, again, as a fan, you want to be on the field. But again, historically, what is rushing the field, storming the court for? It's for a miracle win, a team that has no business being on the same court as their opponent, and they somehow win, and the fans storm the court, rush the field. So, I don't know. It's tough. Like, of course, I understand every A&M fan rushing the field. I would have done the same thing, but it's tough to justify and say in the same breath A&M wants to be a premier program. Oh, that's
my big thing.
And you definitely can't say A&M has arrived.
No.
If your fans are rushing the field for a conference game, you can't say A&M's arrived. That's in the eyes of a fan. If you rush the field, then you can't go on and say, "Oh, but we've arrived as one of the best teams in the country."
Yep.
You can't have both.
There you go. So that's my takeaway on that. We'd love to know your thoughts, though. If you're watching or listening later, let me know. What has your experience been rushing the field, rushing the court? When is it okay? When is it not okay? Not to mention how dangerous it is. I mean, just think how insane it is that all these crazy fans are down there with the players and coaches with like 3 or 4 police officers. I mean, it's nuts.
Imagine being claustrophobic.
Oh my gosh. I was actually thinking about that as well on Saturday night. Like, how does it eventually end? Like, how do you get out? Do you then walk back up the stadium? I don't know. It's because the one time
as a player, you have no chance.
Oh man.
A&M players were getting picked up, which they probably loved,